guys, and welcome back to Leslie Through the Looking Glass. For those of you that are new here, hi, my name is Leslie. I'm so happy to have you. For my returning viewers, as always, thank you so much for coming back to support my channel. It really means the world to me. Alright guys, we are back with another Mental Health Monday video today. I'm just going to catch up on a couple things and give you guys a couple thoughts that I've been struggling with this week. I've chatted with a couple of friends who are also feeling a little bit similar, so yeah, we're just gonna dive right in. So life just keeps happening, right? And I feel like a lot of us are feeling that way. When it rains, it pours. And you know, everything was going last week, and then Thursday night into Friday morning, our daughter got sick. She had a weird rash and a fever, and we were dealing with that. I had to take her to the doctor, and it was just a whole thing. Luckily, she is fine. They think it was either a little viral or bacterial infection that came out in rash form with a fever. We were afraid it was an allergy of some kind, but the doctor really thought it was not. So we're grateful for that, because I was worried it was a food allergy maybe, or to her clothing. So that was going on. And then, you know, just we had plans this weekend and some ideas of stuff to do, and then, you know, we weren't sure if we should be taking her out and about, and we didn't want to get anybody else sick. We wanted her to recover. But yeah, so that's really the only change this weekend. But you know, I just feel like, and not that any of the things lately are awful, right? So people have it much worse. And that's kind of what I wanted to touch on, because it's really easy to write off our anxieties and our stresses and say, you know, but so-and-so is going through this and that's way worse, or, you know, I should be grateful because it could be this or that. And one of the things that I've talked about with my therapist at length is not minimizing ours or anybody else's struggles. Just because in the grand scheme of life, what we're going through at the moment might not be as significant as what somebody else might be going through in the moment. You know, it's still our struggle, and to us, depending on where we're at mentally, it can be just as overwhelming and just as difficult to maneuver and navigate. And that's where I'm really feeling right now. Like, I feel guilty, feeling bad for myself, or having my days of high anxiety. Because it's been a challenge for me the last couple of weeks to really control things. I've been on the verge of a panic attack more times than I can count. Luckily, I've only had a handful of like true panicky feelings, but I've felt on the verge a lot. I get the tingle. If anybody suffers from panic attacks, anxiety attacks, you know, like your limbs kind of get like real flushed feeling and tingly, and I've had that a lot. And it's just been really overwhelming. That being said, I think that it's also a good tool to remember the things you are grateful for during these things, and that can help you get through some of your thoughts that are intruding on your well-being. And it's challenging. I really found myself this weekend trying very hard to reset my way of thinking. I even mentioned to my husband that like things just need to stop. Like, I'm just getting very overwhelmed with all these little things adding up, one on top of the other. And that I was pretty proud that for the most part I had kept myself in check, but I hate that it's a little stuff that makes me feel so overwhelmed. But when there's so much of it, I feel like it's hard not to. And I feel like, unfortunately, too, so many people are going through this right now. I am talking with so many friends who have stuff going on. You hear stories about friends and neighbors and what they're going through, and it's just like everybody is having a season right now, right? Like, I don't know what it is. It's crazy to me how many people have significant things going on, and none of them are great. So, you know, I use that as a tool to be grateful for what I have, but I also do not try to compare my struggles to anybody else's, because they're not the same, and it's okay for everybody to feel their own struggles in whatever way they need to. Of course, as long as it's healthy and you're not like drowning in it. yeah, so that was like the main thing this week that I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, well, I shouldn't feel guilty because, or I feel guilty because so and so has this going on, or I know somebody going through this. Um, but it's not to say what you're going through isn't just as significant to you at that moment, or that you're not allowed to have your feelings and your emotions about what's going on in your life just because somebody else is going through worse. And that's a hard thing to do sometimes. And I'm struggling with that even now. Because I hate that I feel this way when, in the grand scheme of life, things aren't that bad. But I also feel like all these little things are just keeping me from getting back on track. So, what did I do to get out of this funk, right? Honestly, I am going into this week really gung-ho on positive changes, right? Because I have to be. I keep doing this on Mondays and things keep setting me back, but I'm just going to keep resetting every time that I need to until things stay a little bit more on track. Yesterday I went out and I ran 3 miles. It was freaking beautiful outside. It's beautiful outside today. When Amelia wakes up from her nap here in a little bit, our plan is to go spend time outside and just enjoy the weather. And I'm so glad for sunshine. The gloom and the clouds have taken its toll as well in our area, I feel like, because everybody is sick of the gloominess. But yeah, so I went for a run. We had some really good family time this weekend. I did something, I took a bath. I had some self-care this weekend with the running and stuff like that. Before I filmed this, I did a bunch of stuff for Instagram content that I'm really excited about and had so much fun doing. Trying to embrace my reels just a little bit. And I feel like those things really help brighten my mood and give me some motivation going into the week. So what I want to know from you guys watching this week is, what are you doing this week? What is your goal for the week, or your goals, or like what's your motivation? Do you have something you're planning or looking forward to, or a goal you're trying to meet this week? So I have 2 goals of like things this week. First one is I'm going to try to run on my lunch break at least twice this week. And my goal is for 3 runs total for the week, not counting yesterday. So 3 more runs, even if they're short, even if it's a mile, but more activity than what I'm used to getting in the form of running. And then the second thing is working on my breathing and like my mantras. I've been really like slacking, and I think it shows when I get overwhelmed. The biggest challenge for me when it comes to dealing with my anxiety is always remembering the basics and not getting so overwhelmed that I forget what I need to be doing. So I busted out my bracelet today, which is one of my 2 mantras that I love. Keep moving forward. My Lillian & Co. that I got from Miss Rebecca over at Dole Whip a Day when we did our mental health Disney gift exchange for Mental Health Month. So I put that on the last couple days to remind myself just to keep moving forward, making progress. That's all that's all we can do. One step at a time, one foot in front of another, progress. And then I'm remembering my breathing. The last few nights before bed, I've taken the time to lay in bed, eyes closed, doing my breathing, and I'm gonna strive to incorporate that when I'm starting to have those panic, anxiety attack feelings, and really try to center myself with that, because I've not been doing it. But yeah, all in all, guys, life is good. Been feeling overwhelmed, but I really, hopefully this weekend, I feel like I got kind of a better grip on things. Some of the stressful things, like they're just going to be stressful. I keep overanalyzing poor Bella. Every time I'm like, okay, I think she's starting to limp worse. Today's the day. Like, this is going to have to be it. And then she bounces back. And that's just what it's going to be until it's her time. But I'm so grateful we've gotten much more time from her than I thought we would. And that's so special. We have a plan in place for Amelia's tooth. So that will be, taken care of one way or the other in a few weeks. I have a few vacation days coming up that I'm really just excited to get a little bit of bonus time off. I have some content I'm looking forward to shooting and creating for my Instagram. I'm really enjoying that kind of outlet and creativity that I didn't really think I had in me, and I'm growing and learning there, so that's fun. But yeah, so we will keep chugging along with our Mental Health Mondays. I will keep you guys updated. But like I said, I'd love to hear like what your goal is for the week, if you have one, or what your, even if it's not for the week, if it's a more long-term goal, whatever it is, drop it in the comments below. I would love to share those. And yeah, that's all I have, guys. Yeah, coming up Saturday, I don't know what we'll have. I have a bunch of Mickey Loot boxes coming. I think I have 4 or 5 in the packaging phase right now, so you guys will see a lot of Mickey Loot in the near future. I have, hopefully my Reddit Disney should be shipping soon, because the shipping date is the 20th, so hopefully that gets shipped, and I'll have that soon. I still have on the agenda for me and my husband to sit down and do a video with our Marvel questions that I think will be so fun. I want to get a pin tag in because I got some new pins, so I think that will be fun. Lots of stuff. But yeah, hope you guys are having a great Monday. I hope you have a great rest of the week. If you're not already, please consider hitting subscribe down below and the bell notification next to it so you're alerted every time I post new content. I'd really appreciate a big thumbs up to let me know that you enjoyed what I'm creating here in our little corner of the internet. Alright guys, have a great week. Bye.